In every age, there are places that wait, not for discovery, but for the moment when the world is ready to meet them. From the frozen crown of Alaska to the unbroken whites of Siberia, these lands beyond those borders have been watching the rest of Earth for centuries. Now, the actors are taking the stage, and the script is shifting toward a future that blends power, technology, and the quiet pull of the unknown. The in-game terrain is already in view: cold, mountainous, and remote. From Alaska to Siberia, it opens up the Arctic for exploration and resource recovery. These frontiers are the stage where a decades-long script will play out and conclude. Today's Alaska meeting isn't incidental. It's a preview of the physical and symbolic ground where future cooperation will mature. My short-term prediction came true about the summit, what I called the high-profile meeting staged in the Arctic, Alaska, or Siberian area with symbolic overtones. Now let's share the rest of the story. Announcements about Arctic exploration corridors framed as peace or cooperation initiatives. Media pieces highlighting remote Arctic landscapes as the last frontier for joint development. The mechanisms for reunification will occur. Space has always been the bridge between the US and Russia. The Arctic will be the next. Joint exploration protocols will merge technological capabilities with geographic reach, powered by AI-driven mapping, logistics, and environmental modeling. Siberian server farms will be the silent infrastructure feeding the data engines that connect these far reaches to the global grid. The flags to watch for here are official or think tank announcements of joint US-Russia Arctic working groups, AI-driven Arctic mapping projects funded or endorsed by major governments, early-stage Siberian or Far East Russia data center projects, even if quietly framed as research or infrastructure upgrades. Commerce between known and unknown worlds will start to percolate. The outer corridors of Earth will become commerce routes, first for resource extraction, then for data, then for cultural and scientific exchange with realms that are currently unknown to the public. Trade will serve as the accountable face of deeper exploration, masking strategic moves toward contact, integration, and mutual curiosity. The flags to watch for here are trade agreements referencing outer corridors or Arctic shipping lanes, pilot programs for cultural, scientific exchange in Arctic regions involving multiple nations, corporate investments in Arctic resource extraction framed as environmentally sustainable or heritage conscious. We'll also see radiation as a cover and control. Radiation will be the perfect deterrent for public access, measurable, frightening, and able to justify permanent exclusion zones. Behind these lines will sit strategic and archaeological important sites, artifacts, unknown technologies, and geographical treasures. Unlike disease cover stories, radiation threats can be indefinitely maintained without risking exposure of the deeper truth. Flags to watch for here are new radiation safety certifications and guidelines, labeling initiatives in consumer goods, apparel, and even food. Reports of newly declared radiation zones in Arctic or remote territories with vague explanations. Expansion of international standards for radiation monitoring and public alerts, particularly in non-urban areas. What about the stage and the actors? Political leaders are the visible actors. Summits are staged performances. The owners are the true audience. Each scene reassures the overseers that the worlds are aligning with the intended trajectory, managing risk, securing resources, populations, and preparing for integration. The public narrative is managed for plausibility, not transparency. The flags to watch for during the stage and the actors is coordinated symbolic public appearances between US and Russian leaders in northern territories, strategic leaks or controlled media stories framing Arctic cooperation as beneficial for global stability, quiet agreements between large state-backed corporations to co-develop Arctic regions infrastructure. Lastly, Renaissance, if we can keep it. We are in a cautious Renaissance moment now, symbolized by dialogue, potential trade corridors, and mutual technological interest. The warpath remains active in parallel, scripted to maintain tension and justify defense postures. If the cooperative script holds, these northern corridors will one day be celebrated as a Renaissance milestone, the moment when icy frontiers became bridges instead of borders, opening paths to new civilizations, lost civilizations, and a wilderness of wonder. The flags to watch for here are international narratives shifting from Arctic competition to Arctic partnership, civil society or cultural organizations framing Arctic exploration as a human heritage project. First, formal joint claim or stewardship announcements over a resource-rich or historically significant Arctic site. In closing, explore your worlds. See beyond the maps you've been given. In the far north, history's next chapter waits, and when it opens, it will belong to those who dare to step into the unknown. Welcome to the game of life. Welcome to Genesis, the world's first time travel game.